Hi everybody! Thanks for stopping by to check out the latest from Sailing Emerald Steel. In this video we're going to be sharing with you some of the things that cruisers get blamed for. And before we get started, we'd like to thank all of you that took the time to leave a comment and a thumb up on our last video. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
In our present series, times are changing for cruisers. We point out many changes which happened throughout the years. And in this video, I would like to discuss with you things which we feel are very much misunderstood, and also replying to some of your comments. So here are some of the things which cruisers usually get blamed for. The first thing is, what makes you think you deserve anything for free? In most cases, what they think that when you come to a harbor, you use their facilities and so forth, you should pay for it. In a lot of cases that is the truth, but I can only talk about us, and also many cruisers we met in the past, and many of them live the way we actually live. So the first thing, when you come into the harbor in most cases it's a natural harbor, so it's really made by God, if you want to discuss who make it. Now, harbor get dredged periodically, but when they dredge a harbor, they do that for large ships. They do not dredge that for sailboats or pleasure boats. Second thing is, in a harbor they build docks and facilities, but in our case, we do not use them. First thing, when we go into a harbor, we find a secluded location where we can drop our anchor, and then when we go to shore, we take our dinghy and pull up on the beach.
Once we pull the dinghy ashore, we don't lock it to a cleat on the dock, we just wrap it around a rock instead. When we use our rowing dinghy, Jules gets some good exercise rowing back and forth. We try not to use plastic bags from the grocery store and usually use our cloth bags and backpacks instead.
So as you can see, we're really not using any of those facilities. The next thing is, we make our own water, so we do not take a water from the harbor. We make our own electricity, so we're not plugging into any power on the shore, and so on. If you point out about taking your trash, yeah, we take trash to the shore, but believe it or not, in most cases we take a trash to the same store where we purchase our grocery.
It's about this much trash every couple of days. So, very little trash we generate.
So that means that we go to the grocery store, we purchase food and a necessity, we bring the bags home, and then next day or 2-3 days later when we go back to the store, we usually have the trash which was generated by that stuff we just purchased, and we bring it back with us on the way to the store. So we gave them a business, and in a repayment we use the facilities for dumping the trash. Now we do go empty our holding tank in a public pump outs, but even for that, when we buy a diesel or we buy a propane or we buy a gasoline, we pay pretty high taxes on it. So you can see nothing really come for free. So those people who think that we come to the harbor and we get stuff for free, they are kind of misinformed. That is not the truth. Now let's see what else they're blaming us for. Last video we were discussing anchoring in Hawaii. Some of the Hawaiians wrote back, says, hey, you come here, destroy our corals, you pollute the place, and so on and so forth. So let's see. You're talking about cruisers come to your islands and pollute. How about all those hundreds and hundreds of hotels, thousands and thousands of tourists who come down there and create pollution? Think about all those cruise ships. They dump in the ocean tons and tons of waste overboard. The big ships which dump, or they bilges tons of oil into the ocean. You're talking about the pollution. How about the big cities when the sewer pump station breaks down and they pour millions and millions of gallons of the raw sewer into the ocean? So you know what, it's a kind of insulting when somebody says something and the cruisers are the one to blame. Now, in a world we have 6 billion people of population. When you take an amount of cruisers, really it's a handful of them. So, and the reality is this here. When I drop the anchor, yes, I might disturb some coral in a vicinity where I'm anchoring, which is maybe only a few square feet, which that coral gets regenerated pretty
Usually
fast.
unintentional, though. We always try to anchor away from the coral.
Yeah, we try to anchor, yeah, very good point.
We do.
Very good point. Usually we're looking for a nice sandy patch, because that's the kind of place where your anchor doesn't get stuck, foul, and so forth. So, but let's go back to the point, okay? You have today a big problem with the corals dying all around the world, like for example Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Now you know very well that has nothing to do with the boats. That has strictly to do with the man-made pollution and global warming. Now,
ocean acidification.
Yeah, that is not done by a handful of cruisers, but by millions and millions of people on the shore. So you see, while authorities try to change the laws and regulations for cruisers, they use that as an excuse, when in reality they themselves are the one who creates all that pollution. Take a look, for example, plastic, okay? We have tons and tons and tons of plastic in the ocean. Actually, they have
the Great Pacific Garbage Patch.
Yes, you know damn well that was not created by the cruisers, because actually cruisers carry with them the really minimum which can be taken, because there's just not enough room in a boat.
And when we sail the oceans and that we ever see any plastic buoys, nets, whatever is out there, we always go out of our way to try to pick it up and take it out. So I think most cruisers are actually beneficial to the environment in that respect.
And to tell you the truth, when the cruisers get together, they actually go and brag who can save and keep a clean environment, the better.
When we're sailing, because so much stuff is packaged in plastic, we take a gallon container and we push all of our plastic debris into that gallon container. So by the time we are finished with long passage of them, you know, it could be up to a month, we have 1 gallon container stuffed full of plastic, and that's all we've got, and that's where we get rid of it, take it to a shore facility to get rid of it. But we don't generate a lot of plastic. Compared to people that live on land, we're nothing.
So same way I can say we actually lived on the boat for 35 years.
Yeah.
It is for example, we make our own water. And even before we made our own water, we never used more than 7 gallons of water a day. 7 gallons of water, now think about it. So you know what, it's very, very unfair when people blame cruisers for those things which are actually created by the people on the land.
And so many times we've gone to different anchorages and met other cruisers, and they all go to the beach and have a garbage pickup where they all pick up all the trash that's left on the beach and the shore. So
because after all the beaches are actually our front or backyard.
Right.
So we really care about it, you know, to keep things clean. When we bring a dinghy to the shore and we walk to the street, any trash, any kind of plastic cans or bags, we always pick it up and deposit in the trash cans, because we are very, very conscious. How many times we come to shore and we see ladies here, for example in Coronado, exercising right at the beach, but not one of them would actually bend down, pick up a plastic bottle and throw it in the trash. They exercise, they jog, and they do all kinds of things, but nobody participates to keep the place clean. So I would say actually we deserve a praise for keep the
you don't have to praise us, but
to keep our planet clean.
And when we hear people talking about minimalist, tiny living, it's kind of hip right now. Actually, it's very hip right now. We've been living like that since we built our boat and moved on, and it's kind of funny to us how people talk about it now.
It is the same thing about YouTube. A lot of young people right now want to become cruisers or buy yachts and go cruising because they want to make videos and they hope they get rich like some people did, making a good amount of money. But we've done it long before YouTube and long before it was, like Susan says, popular, for no other reason except because we chose that type of a lifestyle.
And another thing, a lot of people talk about, you know, generating a lot of excess trash and plastic and so forth. How about don't buy so much stuff? Don't buy every single newest camera, drone, and every kind of plastic crap out there, telephones and so forth, because all those things have to be put into a landfill. So try to buy something that's good in the first place. If you can repair it, try to repair it, but don't buy all the latest gadgets, because that also contributes to bad environment.
After all, it's your story what counts, not how good of a camera you have or what is the newest gadget.
Okay, everybody, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, but mainly we hope you got something out of it. And if you did, don't forget to leave a comment and a thumb up. And we know that these days when you talk about the environment, people get all worked up about it, so please try to keep the comments respectful. We'd like to hear from people that want to have an engaging conversation. And before we go, we'd like to once again thank all the people that support our channel through Patreon and PayPal. We really appreciate your support, guys, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.